Hey everybody, April Marie here. I just wanted to put together a really quick little video telling everybody a bit more about me and what this YouTube channel's focus is going to be, so that you know what you're getting in for, right? That's always good to know. So I started recording this monologue that listed out all the different places I've worked and some of the intricacies about the different positions and the different companies, but it came off really boring. So, and if it's boring me, I know it would be boring you guys. So instead I figured maybe we'll just do like April Marie's history in 10 seconds or something, and we'll just list all the places I've worked really quickly. Maybe that'll be a little more entertaining than me droning on for 5 minutes. I grew up in Minnesota, and I went to college there, and I got a film and TV production degree. When I graduated, I asked a professor to give me a recommendation for an internship at Game Informer. Through asking for that letter of recommendation, I was put in contact with the editor-in-chief of a website called Geek Party. While I was working at Geek Party, I actually made some connections from another website called Technology Tells Gaming Channel, or more fondly known as GamerTel. While I was working at GamerTel, I actually got the chance to write for another website called GameZone. GameZone fired all of their writers right after I joined, so that was a very short-lived experience, unfortunately. While I was working for GamerTel, I went to E3 to cover for the website and met someone there who got me started at one of the biggest horror websites in the country called Dread Central. I should mention that all of these websites I've mentioned, I was a writer there. When I worked at Geek Party, I was also the format editor, so I made sure all the pictures were the way they were supposed to be and people were using the content management system correctly. And at Dread Central, I also did some social media stuff, so I was doing a lot of memes, posting a lot of memes on Dread Central. That was awful. I'm never going to do that again. That's a promise. You heard it here first. While I was working at Dread Central, one of my bosses there told me about a position that was opening up at a studio called the Bartlett Jones Supernatural Detective Agency, or Bartlett Jones. You'll hear me call it Bartlett Jones. So the heads at Bartlett Jones were actually David Jaffe, who did God of War and Twisted Metal, and Nick Kononellos, who worked on The Last of Us. When I first joined the Bartlett Jones crew, they were looking for a video editor, so that's how I got my start with them. But over the coming months, I actually went through a bunch of different positions. So I was a video editor and a social media associate. S's are not my friend, you'll find out really quickly. I also filled the role of QA tester, and towards the end of my time at Bartlett Jones, we had released Drawn to Death, so I filled the role of a community management support person, specialist. After that was Cheat Code Central, and while I was writing for them, I was actually traveling around the country. Some people might know that about me already if they were following my Apricott accounts. I'll put links in the description for those, but yeah, I traveled from San Diego to Washington State, over to New York, down to Florida, and then back over to San Diego, and it was fantastic, and I wouldn't have changed it for the world, but there were definitely some ups and downs on that trip. So if you're interested, you can find Apricott online and see some of the fun shenanigans I got up to while traveling the country. This is where I had a little bit of a mental breakdown because I'm struggling not to explain things and just say them quickly. After I got back to San Diego, I was still writing for Cheat Code Central, but I wanted back into the game development industry, so I got really lucky and connected with a company called Matarium, and I was brought on as a marketer originally, but my boss really quickly found out that I could really help him also as a producer, project manager, and sort of an office manager. So helping him with schedules and being more organizational in the company than he really had time for. While I was working at Matarium, I actually got to pick up some extra work with another company called The Monkey, who put out the VR game Drunken Bar Fight. So I did project management for them for a little while, and I also do marketing for them. I feel like I'm aging this video from the get-go because I'm gonna have to update this when I have a new job. Ugh. So right now I'm working for Matarium, I do marketing for The Monkey, and I do some other little freelance things on the side here. And I really wanted to get back into YouTube because I feel like I have the time to do it, and I have things that I want to talk about. So that's a little bit more about me. Hopefully you know more than you started with. If you are interested in learning more, I have all my links to my social media up on my cover page on my YouTube channel. And from here on out, we're going to cover all kinds of fun geeky stuff like film, movies, anime, manga, video games, of course, so video game development, video game journalism, and we'll see where it takes us, right? I hope you guys are in for the ride with me, and I'm really happy to have you here, and I'll see you in the next video.